The lights are up, the cocoa is hot, and those familiar animated classics are officially back on TV. But let's be honest, every holiday special isn't a warm blast of nostalgia. For every timeless classic, there's a tinsel-covered disaster waiting to ruin your December. That's why today, we're cutting through the snow and ranking every animated Christmas special, starting from the dusty old tapes we wish stayed buried, all the way up to the undisputed, legendary masterpieces. Get ready to argue with my picks. Do you think The Bumble is better than The Grinch? Is your childhood favorite about to land in the bottom tier? There's only one way to find out. This is ranking every animated Christmas special from worst to best. But before we get into the video, kindly subscribe to the Animated Memories for more content like this. We're judging every special based on 3 core criteria: the nostalgia factor, the lasting quality, animation, music, and story structure, and the overall emotional impact. Because we have a massive list of stop-motion, 2D, CGI, and claymation specials to get through, I've broken them down into 5 distinct categories. And trust me, we are starting right at the bottom. 1. The naughty list, worst tier. We're starting here and moving fast. These are the specials that, frankly, should have stayed buried. Expect mini-rants focused on cheap animation, plots that made no sense, or painfully bland music. This is a quality check. If a special fails here, it gets a quick, decisive joke, and we move on. 2. Mid-tier. Okay, but forgettable. These specials are fine. We'll give a passing nod to the light nostalgia factor and highlight any single standout moment, but ultimately explain why these have been relegated to the only if nothing else is on category. They just don't have the staying power. 3. High tier, the good stuff. Now we're talking about genuine classics. These are well animated, well written, and still hold up today. In this tier, we'll dive into the emotional beats and explain why they still deserve that annual rewatch. 4. Legendary tier, the classics of all classics. This is the S tier, the top 10 of all time. These specials have earned their legendary status through decades of cultural dominance. Here, we will use strong emotional language and explain exactly why they are the gold standard and why they still dominate every December broadcast. So, get ready to see your childhood favorite potentially placed dead last, or finally get the respect it deserves at the very top. Let me know which special you are most afraid I'm going to roast down in the comments, and let's start with the nuttiest Nutcracker. Alright, let's stop wasting time. We're kicking off this countdown with the 8 animated disasters that have stained the Christmas season. If you love these, I'm sorry, but you are wrong. This is the naughty list. Our journey into the cinematic refuse pile begins with the nuttiest Nutcracker. Remember when the 90s thought they could do CGI without proper rendering? This is the result. It looks like a PlayStation 1 cutscene stretched onto a TV screen, and the plot is so thin it disappears when it turns sideways. What went wrong? It's the definition of cheap, early 3D animation that aged like sour eggnog. The only thing nutty about this is the person who thought this was ready for release. Next, oh, this one. The song is a novelty, and the special is a headache. Grandma Got Run Over by a Reindeer takes a simple premise and turns it into a bizarre legal drama with a villain named Cousin Mel. The character designs are genuinely creepy, like cheap dolls come to life. What went wrong? It tried to stretch a 3-minute novelty song into a 45-minute story, and the result is aggressively unfunny. When Grandma finally came back, she sued everyone for emotional distress, including the animators. This is based on a free computer game from 1999. Do I need to say more? Elf Bowling. The movie proves that simply having a license is not a substitute for having a plot. It's loud, it's annoying, and the animation makes the nuttiest Nutcracker look like a Pixar film. What went wrong? The cheapest form of direct-to-video garbage, made purely to capitalize on a fleeting internet fad. Watching this is the equivalent of being hit in the face with a spare holiday ham.
And it's that elves need to be happy, their hearts...
If you've never seen The Christmas Tree from 1991, consider yourself blessed. This special is infamous for being one of the most bafflingly bad animated features ever made. The story is a nonsensical disaster involving orphans, talking animals, and animation quality that looks like it was drawn on napkins. What went wrong? Everything. Specifically, the animation quality is so poor it's distracting, making it impossible to follow the already confusing plot. Santa must have put the budget for this special on the very, very top of the naughty list. Okay, the animation here looks decent, but this special is painfully, aggressively commercial. Shrek the Halls exists for one reason: to sell toys and remind you that the Shrek franchise still exists. The holiday cheer feels forced, calculated, and completely devoid of any real heart. What went wrong? It's cinematic product placement. All the character chemistry from the films is replaced by boardroom marketing goals. Even Donkey couldn't talk his way into giving this special a good ranking. Wait, the Smurfs? Yes, this special is infamous for being oddly dark. Instead of fun mushroom houses and Gargamel hijinks, you get a depressing plot about war and refugees. It's totally tonally dissonant with the source material, making it a bummer instead of a special. What went wrong? Too dark, too heavy, and totally missed the light, carefree spirit of the Smurfs. Papa Smurf should have used his magic to conjure a better script. This special is the definition of, I watched it once and immediately forgot everything about it. It's a completely generic story about a spoiled girl who learns a lesson. The animation is standard 90s fare, perfectly acceptable, but utterly lacking in charm or distinct style. What went wrong? No unique selling point. It's Christmas special Mad Libs. It's aggressively average, which is bad in a tier full of legends. The only wish that changed Christmas was me wishing I hadn't watched this. And finally, we have the king of the naughty list, Rhapsody Street Kids, Believe in Santa. This is legendary for being awful. The voice acting is bizarre, the plot is non-existent, but the worst part? That unsettling CGI animation. The characters look like melted wax figures trapped in the uncanny valley. What went wrong? It's a technical failure, an artistic failure, and a commercial failure. It's everything you shouldn't do. This is the Christmas special that Santa checks twice to ensure no one watches it. Okay, we survived. 8 animated atrocities are out of the way. Let's move up the list to where things start getting tolerable. Next up, we have the specials that are just mid-tier, okay but forgettable. Alright, we survived the trash heap. Now we're moving on to the mid-tier. These aren't bad, they just lack the essential magic to make them truly memorable. They are fine, but nobody's putting these on during Christmas dinner. Starting off the mid-tier is Tom and Jerry, A Nutcracker Tale. It takes the classic Nutcracker story and shoehorns the cat and mouse into it. It's colorful, and Tom and Jerry do their thing, but that's kind of the problem. Light nostalgia / forgettable. This feels like a direct-to-video special you watched once as a kid because you loved the characters, and then you haven't thought about it since. It gets credit for using Tchaikovsky's score, which is inherently good, but the weak CGI mixed with 2D animation just feels jarring and uninspired. Next, we have the Madagascar penguins in A Christmas Caper. The penguins themselves are great characters, and their chaotic energy is fun. It's short, punchy, and delivers solid laughs. It's exactly what you expect. A well-produced short film that feels more like a bonus feature on a DVD than a classic special. The humor is snappy, but ultimately, it's just a placeholder until the real specials start. It has no emotional weight. This one is a fascinating piece of history. The Spirit of Christmas, the true original South Park short that started it all. Watching Jesus fight Frosty, or later, Santa, is hilarious and groundbreaking for its time. As an artifact of pop culture, it's iconic. As a yearly Christmas special, no one is curling up by the fire to watch the crude paper cutout animation. It birthed one of the most successful animated shows ever, but its impact is academic, not sentimental. The Fairly Odd Parents take on the Groundhog Day trope with Christmas every day. It's a fun concept, and the sheer chaos of endless Christmas makes for some good jokes. If you were a Nickelodeon kid, you saw this a million times in December, but it relies heavily on the show's existing humor and doesn't stand alone as a classic special. It successfully explores the too much of a good thing lesson, but the overall message is a bit too manic to land that genuine holiday feeling. Disney's attempt at a modern sequel to Once Upon a Christmas, Mickey's Twice Upon a Christmas. The jump to 2004 CGI is a huge swing, and frankly, it misses the warmth of the original 2D hand-drawn films. It's harmless, cute, and features beloved characters, but the animation style instantly dates it and drains the charm. It's an easy watch, but I certainly haven't thought about it since I prepped for this list. It has some sweet moments, but the whole thing feels like a visual downgrade from classic Disney. The Rugrats holiday episodes, both the Hanukkah and Christmas ones, are excellent examples of educational and inclusive holiday content for kids. They were incredibly valuable for representation. They are fantastic episodes, but they're not a special. They don't have that iconic, must-watch status outside of the Nickelodeon rotation. They are well-written and heartfelt, but they lack the cinematic scope or memorable songs to jump into the high tier. Arthur's Perfect Christmas is one of the most underrated specials for teaching kids about diverse holiday traditions like Kwanzaa, Hanukkah, and different Christmas celebrations. It's incredibly sweet and earnest, but like Rugrats, it's better defined as a super long, educational episode of a great show rather than a standalone holiday masterpiece. It's too perfect. It's warm, but it doesn't give you those big, unforgettable emotional punches. The Powerpuff Girls Christmas special is a great showcase of the show's unique blend of superhero action and satire. It's fun, witty, and has that classic Craig McCracken style. It gets forgotten because the show itself is so iconic. It's a funny, action-packed Christmas episode that just lacks the cultural heft to be rewatched annually by everyone. It's solid action comedy, but not essential Christmas viewing. Look, Teen Titans Go is divisive, but their Christmas episodes are energetic and often self-aware in their absurdity. They lean heavily into modern cartoon humor. This is new nostalgia. If you're under 20, you probably love it. If you're older, it's just chaotic background noise. It's too modern and frantic to be a relaxing classic. Good for a quick laugh, but it doesn't leave any lasting impression or meaningful message. Wrapping up the mid-tier is Phineas and Ferb Christmas Vacation. It does what the show does best: clever inventions, catchy songs, and an upbeat mood. It's definitely a solid effort, but the overwhelming complexity of the show's plots sometimes gets in the way of simple Christmas charm. It's well executed, but still feels like a glorified extended episode. The music is great as always, but it's just not the first thing you think of when you hear Christmas special. Alright, that clears out the mid-tier. We've left the trash and the forgettable behind. Next up, we get into the stuff we genuinely love. Stay tuned because the high tier, the good stuff, is coming up now. Everything from this point forward is genuinely good. These aren't the undisputed S-tier legends yet, but the high-tier specials are essential viewing. These are classics that still resonate, and they've earned their spot in the December rotation. Starting off the high tier with a surprising amount of heart, Kung Fu Panda Holiday. You might think this is just a cash grab, but it tackles a genuinely sweet and relatable emotional beat about balancing duty with family tradition. Po has to choose between hosting the prestigious winter feast or celebrating with his noodle shop dad. What makes it work today is that universal feeling of being stretched thin during the holidays. It delivers the fantastic Kung Fu Panda animation and action while landing a very sweet message about where your heart truly lies. It's a modern classic that doesn't get enough credit. Now, this one is divisive, but I'm putting Frosty Returns in the high tier. Sure, it's not the original, and it uses traditional animation instead of stop motion, but it has a surprisingly relevant emotional beat: the environmental message. Frosty comes back to fight a corporate jerk who wants to ban snow. This special nails the 90s cartoon aesthetic and keeps the core concept alive. For a lot of us, this was the first time we saw a new Frosty, and it holds a spot in our memory as that slightly edgier, environmentally conscious sequel. It's a fun and worthwhile watch. This is pure, low-key 80s charm. A Garfield Christmas special isn't about saving the world or magic. It's about the quiet, often awkward reality of family Christmas. The emotional beat is subtle, focusing on John's loneliness and Garfield's reluctant realization that Christmas isn't just about presents. The special still works because of its grounded nature. We all know a grumpy relative like Garfield. My personal nostalgic storytelling here involves Grandma's monologue at the piano. It is an incredibly tender moment of reflection that lifts the whole special out of the mid-tier and into true holiday comfort viewing. The Polar Express has been criticized for its early motion capture animation, which I understand, but the sheer spectacle and production design earn it a spot here. The core emotional beat is about the power and anxiety of losing your belief. It's a stunning visual journey. The sense of awe, the amazing sound design, and the unforgettable image of that train speeding to the North Pole still makes it a must-watch for many families. It's a modern standard that, while imperfect, delivers spectacle and a truly meaningful lesson about faith.
The year when everyone comes home.
No.
I'm focusing specifically on the very first episode, Simpsons roasting on an open fire. This special is a landmark. The emotional beat is perfect. Homer trying desperately to save Christmas and feeling like a failure. It's grounded, real, and hilarious. It still works because it defined what The Simpsons would be: a real, dysfunctional family unit with heart. My own nostalgic memory is realizing how much deeper this was than every other cartoon I watched. It proved animation could be funny, smart, and deeply touching all at once. Hey Arnold, Arnold's Christmas is a masterpiece of kindness. The emotional beat here isn't about Arnold, but about helping Mr. Hyun reconnect with his daughter after years of separation. It's a special about selflessness and community. What makes this special work is the sheer depth of writing. It tells a heavy, meaningful story about wartime separation and sacrifice, making every viewer feel that wave of emotion when the two are finally reunited. That moment alone elevates it way past the mid-tier. Olive the Other Reindeer is a criminally underrated gem. The emotional beat is all about believing in yourself, even if you mishear a song lyric and think you're meant to be a reindeer. The animation is unique, quirky, and has fantastic voice acting. It has a distinct visual style, a great blend of 90s flash animation and picture book charm. It's fun, fast, and has the perfect amount of absurdity to stand out from the Rankin Bass crowd. It's a special I truly love discovering later in my childhood. This Disney short feels like a Pixar-level short film. Prep and Landing reimagines Santa's operation as a covert, high-tech military mission. The emotional beat is about regaining your purpose and finding pride in your work, as Lanny and Wayne must save Christmas. The animation is gorgeous, and the storytelling is incredibly sharp and efficient. It's instantly accessible and has a sense of modern adventure that the older specials just can't replicate. It's the standard for new holiday animation. This one is everything Twice Upon a Christmas should have been. Mickey's Once Upon a Christmas is a beautiful collection of 3 traditional 2D animated vignettes that feel like classic Disney shorts. The emotional beats are handled perfectly, especially with the Gift of the Magi segment. Hand-drawn Disney animation just has a warmth that CGI often lacks. It's the perfect anthology. Every segment is classic, charming, and exactly what you want from your core Disney characters during the holidays. Pure comfort viewing. This is arguably the most beautiful special on this entire list. The Snowman is a silent, gentle, almost hypnotic piece of animation. The emotional beat is a bittersweet one, the magic of a brief, perfect moment that can't last. Its lack of dialogue and stunning hand-drawn art give it a timeless quality. My own nostalgic storytelling here is remembering being mesmerized by the famous song, Walking in the Air. It's a special that requires you to slow down and feel, not just watch, and that is a true measure of quality. Finally, we have Rise of the Guardians. While it's a full feature, I'm including it because its version of North, Santa, is so iconic and central to the story. The emotional beat is about the importance of childhood belief and wonder. The action is great, the animation is incredible, and the entire concept of the Guardians is wonderfully executed. It's an epic holiday adventure that still feels fresh and works as a fantastic, action-oriented entry point into the Christmas canon. Whew! We are absolutely flying now. We've hit the good stuff, which means only one thing. We are ready for the Titans. Next up, the countdown to the greatest holiday special ever made, the Legendary tier. Don't go anywhere. We have made it to the peak of Mount Rushmore. This is the Legendary tier, the top 10 animated Christmas specials of all time. These aren't just good, they are cultural pillars that define the very feeling of Christmas. These classics still dominate every single December, and here is why. Kicking off the top 10 is the gentle, heartbreaking story of the Little Drummer Boy. It's arguably the most somber special on the list, but its emotional language about finding your gift and offering it with pure love is absolutely universal. This special is a quiet, necessary reminder of the reason for the season, told through the gorgeous, classic artistry of Rankin/Bass. Wait, a New Year's special? Yes! Rudolph's Shiny New Year earns its spot because it extends the magic of the original and hits that deeply relatable childhood memory of transition and fear of the unknown. It's a whimsical, high-stakes adventure full of wonderful, weird characters. It carries the torch of accepting yourself, making it essential viewing every time we wrap up the old year. This crossover is pure, unexpected Seuss genius. Dr. Seuss's The Grinch, Grinch's The Cat in the Hat is an underappreciated masterpiece. It brings back the Grinch, who is now being bothered by the chaotic cat, forcing him to be a Grinch again. It's a hilarious power struggle that still dominates as a fantastic lesson in resisting temptation and the power of a single, meaningful memory. This special is nothing short of an origin story epic. Santa Claus is Coming to Town gives us the definitive mythology of Kris Kringle, the adoption by the elves, the villainous Burgermeister Meisterburger, and the introduction of the Winter Warlock. The emotional language here is about standing up for goodness and giving. It's beautifully designed, perfectly paced, and the songs, especially Put One Foot in Front of the Other, are indelible childhood memories. The one that set the standard for an entire generation. Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer is one of the most culturally significant holiday specials ever. It's an imperfect, beautiful stop-motion marvel that tackles discrimination and self-doubt with incredible grace. The Island of Misfit Toys is a deep childhood memory for every single one of us. This is the special that taught us being different isn't just okay, it's what makes you indispensable. The ultimate anti-commercial special. A Charlie Brown Christmas stands completely alone. The quiet jazz soundtrack, the awkward dance sequences, and Charlie Brown's struggle with the commercialism of the season. It's all perfect. The emotional language is profound, culminating in Linus's dramatic spotlight on the true meaning of Christmas. This is the special that reminds us of simplicity, faith, and the joy of finding the beauty in the imperfect. When your special features one of the single greatest villains and one of the most beautiful transformations in animation history, you earn a spot in the top 5. How the Grinch Stole Christmas is pure, unadulterated genius. The flawless animation, Boris Karloff's narration, and the iconic Welcome Christmas song. This still dominates because the story of redemption and the realization that you can't steal the spirit of Christmas is timeless.
Then he stuffed all the food.
Forget the plot. This special is ranked this high for 2 reasons: Heat Miser and Snow Miser. This special perfectly captures the bizarre, beautiful anarchy of Rankin/Bass. The emotional language is all about understanding others and compromise, but the childhood memory that defines this special is that incredible, catchy, utterly brilliant musical number. The moment those two start singing, the entire world stops. Pure fire and ice supremacy, the most visually ambitious and revolutionary special on this list. The Nightmare Before Christmas is a dark, beautiful fantasy about finding joy outside of your comfort zone. The emotional language is bittersweet and romantic, but the Tim Burton stop motion is breathtaking. This is the one special that dominates both Halloween and Christmas, proving its universal appeal and becoming one of the most beloved films of all time. It is a true cinematic icon, and the undisputed champion, the special that defines pure, concentrated holiday magic, is Frosty the Snowman, 1969. It's not complex, it's not flashy, but it is pure nostalgia perfection. The simple, classic animation, the utterly beautiful voice of Jimmy Durante, and the single most iconic song in Christmas special history. The story of a brief, magical friendship that teaches us that some moments, though fleeting, last forever in the heart. It's warm, it's joyful, and it is the single greatest animated Christmas special ever made. Pure, undeniable, S-tier excellence.
And there you have it. Every animated special ranked from the absolute naughty list failure all the way up to the undeniable champion, Frosty the Snowman. Now, I know I had a massive list, but I want to know what I missed. Which animated Christmas special did I totally forget to include in my ranking? Let me know down in the comments. Maybe I need to do a part 2, viewer's choice. And on that note, now if you'll excuse me, I'm gonna go rewatch Rudolph for the 47th time this month, just to make sure I got that ranking right. Happy holidays, and I'll see you next time.